Yeah. Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Known Classics. This episode number 2657 and Doubleshot 2661. Got two Spider-Man trades for you. Very recent stuff, mind you. First up is a trade that collects a storyline. My friend Tippy was not a fan of the storyline when it came out. He thought that was big. That it basically was too much. The fact this did have a bit of build to it. Yes. So, not a lot of build per se, but there was some build for it. We have Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells, John Romita Jr., Gang War, which collects Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6, Issues 30 and 44, and the First Strike one-shot. Now, the First Strike one-shot is written by Zeb Wells, Corey Ziegler, art by Joey Velasquez and Juan Julian Swan. Then we, of course, have the issues of this book by Zeb Wells, John Romita Jr., which, as far as I can tell right now, John Romita Jr. has left the book again, and I pray to God he does not come back. He does not need to come back at all. Not really. So, if you read these trades here, this starts it. Yeah, we have this map Manhattan where we have various territories. And who controls them? We have an area formerly was mass territory, five weapons, Lady Yan, Frost Pharaoh, Bomber, Hobgoblin, Hammerhead says manga, the Enforcers, Ringmaster, yeah, he has territory, Big Ben, the Mondry, Black Maria, Diamondback, the Owl, Tombstone, well, former Tombstone, Crime Master. Hammerhead's got like two territory, but negative. The Heat, the Rose. So, we start with the Owl, basically play, who kicked me out of the Red Hood? Don't look at me. My partnership aim is strictly defensive mercenary. Or, well, from business. And Diamondback basically, like, everyone's all sure back and forth. And it's like, who's to take the Tombstone's chair? Like, me. Before I see him. Let me fix of you. There. Yes. And Blackmore is like, you can't just take a seat. That's how it works. Those are the rules. And since I don't plan to let any of you vote to take my father's territory, I look forward to doing the same. You know, I never thanked you for inviting me to your wedding. That's where I met, what's her name here? You never get tied, not that fiance of yours, the Robinson kid. I'm not here talking about my personal life, Hammerhead. I'm afraid you have to. You see, someone's trying to get superheroes legalized in New York City again, and we gotta stop him. If you want to see the stable, gotta take care of him. You gotta kill Randy Robertson. And she probably doesn't want to give him 24 hours. And while I'm gone, no one touched that seat. Yeah. It's the Mafia for you. What do you expect? It's Marvel Crime Mafia. Then we have Spider-Man going after Slade with Miles. And Luke Cage, of course, who's the mayor of New York City since the events of Devil's Reign became mayor. Where the whole... And basically, Randy is leading a protest to get supporters to get Fisk's law, the anti-vigilante law, get repealed. And that's something there. And, of course, Hammerhead thinks... Oh, and then we have... basically Beetle trying to kill Randy, but the thing is, like, you almost married a thug, murderer, you think I am? I didn't. But I bet you whoever sent you does. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, she does want to whack him. And then, of course, basically, Hammerhead tries to kill her. Of course, he ends up basically shielding her. Yes, shielding her. And, of course, Luke Cage basically is like shocked. He's like a little shocked. Luke, when you talk about Randy Robinson. Okay. Don't you? Yeah, he's in the hospital. And, of course, you have... Get this. We have Robbie sitting next to Tombstone. And, like, Mr. Robinson, oh, my God. Are you okay? Is it Miss Reddit? What do you say? Different Robinson. Something named Randy. Of course, he sees the fact his son has been shot. Tells, basically, what would have been his future daughter to leave. And then, of course, Hammerhead is like, he kept a mask. Yeah, and it turns out that this woman that Hammerhead brought home with him, it actually was Madame Mask. Yep, she actually faked her death. For some reason, don't know why. And we prepare for war. Yeah, war basically has basically struck and in New York City, we have where Diamondback's leading an army of Hulks. Like, it's a massive brawl. Manpower. We need to talk. Then talk. It's bad out there. Civilians at risk. All of them. We need to put the fire first. What are you saying? I'm talking about a lot of superheroing. I don't need any directions. I'll keep the police way. Not my way. Our way. I need a team. Yeah, Ringmaster's got his own freaking territory. Somehow. And then we see, well, shooting. Lots of shooting. Because, of course, it's a gang war. What do you expect? So the Spider-Man's team is comprised of, to take down this gang, is comprised of She-Hulk, who surprisingly doesn't have a book tie-in this event for some reason. Doesn't I find that weird that she's the only character in this book who does not have a tie-in? Doesn't I find that weird? Of course, we have Miles, we have Elektra, Daredevil, and Spider-Woman, who these two do have tie-ins. Spider-Woman initially had a mini-series that was made an ongoing. I was surprised to see that. And of course, Elektra had one too, because I'm sure that probably Zordesky wanted nothing to do with this at all, but I guess they probably really, could we please do a Daredevil tie-in? Like, okay, we'll do a mini-series. Yeah, so we have She-Hulk take on AIM. Of course, everyone doing their own thing with this strike, and everyone split up, and then of course, like, oh, Black Maria, it's like, oh yeah. And we have, Night of the Lepus. And of course, like, Maria, you must take it wrong. That's my dad's territory, which means it's my territory. I'm going to take you apart. And then he picks up Black Maria and then drops her from the frickin' docks. Like 20 stories. And like, oh, she's going to be fine. She's Black Maria. And of course, basically, Tombstone gets up and basically gets his own pants. And then, apparently, She-Hulk and Spider-Man thought, okay, let's go to Monster Metropolis. You know, the place that's basically ruled by Deadpool's wife. Who is not here in this story, by the way. Yeah, his wife is not here. Deadpool is not here. Does not find that weird? The fact that we have Monster Metropolis here, and yet, no Deadpool, no hot wife. Are they still on their honeymoon after 3 years? Apparently he's on the honeymoon with her second husband, frickin' Dracula. So we have Shotgun. And my guess is the only reason why he's here is because John Ray Jr. created him. That's the only reason why he's here. Then, of course, you have Beetle. Well, you're in charge. Like, nope, she's in charge. And Madame Mask kind of takes back everything from the manga. And, of course, Tombstone has to team up with Spider-Man again. Yeah, referencing. And, of course, then we see the Rose, Richard Fisk, with Digger. I've kind of talked to basically Zeb Wells about this character. Yeah, he's back here. And he's another character John Ray Jr. created, who they just had to bring in, probably because Ray Jr. created him. Why not? Like, this guy, the freaking billing job of him like he's alive. How the heck is he alive? It makes no freaking sense. And of course, then we have She-Hulk doing a fastball special, which is so funny. I actually like this, the fastball special. And of course, we have looks like Tombstone basically beating up. Looks like it's gonna look like. I think it looks like 5 weapons. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be. Yeah, and then and then for some stupid reason, I have no idea why Armenia Jr. thought it was a good idea to do this. So you know that cool costume that Beetle had? Let me show you. You know, this costume, the costume everybody likes for her. No, let's just ditch that costume and go with this ugly black costume. Yes. For some reason, we had to wear this damn thing. And of course, they reluctantly work together. Then we have where Shotgun brings in to the manga Graviton and Silvermane. Actually, this is Count Nefardia, Madame Mask's father. Yeah, it's like the outfit. Like, is that Graviton? No, that's Count Nefardia. At least some of this is recognizable. Yeah. So yeah, and then we have a weird scene here where, like, oh, they go visit, look like the Rose, but of course, Beetle ends up seeing the Rose, but Tombstone, She-Hulk, and Spider-Man ends up running into the Kingpin. Yes. With his hot wife, Typhoid Mary. Yep. Yeah, they're here. And you're probably thinking, who the heck is the guy in the mask? Okay, there's a bit of explanation for this. Because Wilson Fisk was named during the Fall of X storyline, which is still kind of going on right now. I haven't finished reading it yet. But he's now the White King of the Hellfire Club. And that's the reason why they're here. Now, he is not the kingpin of crime. That's not being addressed. It's like, oh, just Wilson now. And then apparently have this weird scene we have Typhoid Mary just, for some reason, like, behind, like, Wilson Fisk and Tombstone talking to each other, and you have Typhoid Mary hitting on Spider-Man. They're like, what? And Spider-Man points this out, and then of course then Wilson's like, knock it off. And then this leads into the worst drawn fight in comics. What the heck is this? No, seriously, what the heck is this? Yes, everybody pointed out this fight is drawn so horribly. Yeah, this is so terrible. Yeah, and of course, like, Harlan's mind. And yeah, it's a massive brawl, and of course, we have to work together as people, and then, oh yeah, let's have Tombstone bite a piece of Wilson Fisk in the fucking forehead. Yeah, punch, punch, punch. Yeah, and of course a bloody mess after like 2 freaking issues finally wrap up this stupid fight, and like, oh yeah, this whole fight is over, and of course like bump his wife on the nose, his hot wife, and of course he leaves. Never seen any storyline. And then we have Madame Mask puts together this device, which makes her face scarred again for some reason. Which, from a certain perspective, why? Why the heck would you scar your face again like this? This makes no freaking sense. Oh, because we have to start status quo. And of course we have, where Shotgun's got this weird talisman. That's why she's working for him. Yeah. You're in my spot. Yes. And of course, yeah, then we have kind of wrap up this whole thing, mention the whole thing with Miles Morales. And then we have, this actually is drawn slightly better. Yes. Like, yeah, let's basically do this big humongous battle in Central Park. Yeah. And of course, are you ready? Yeah. Oh yeah, and also we finally get an update where, this is what the territories look like right now. At this point in the gang war. Yeah. A lot of the players went to war. Shang-Chi takes a little part in this event. Yeah. And then we have just massive brawl. Makes you think, why the heck is Doctor Strange not involved in this event? That's a good question. Yeah, there's lots of people not involved in this story here for no apparent reason. Oh yeah, then we have Shotgun versus Tombstone. We have Spider versus Madame Mask. We have Elektra versus Silvermane. Oh yeah, and also briefly Spider-Man takes on the Owl. Because of course he does. And after he tells this to... And then of course Tombstone basically decides to destroy his own daughter's suit for reasons. Yeah. See a massive fight. Paste Pot PD traps her. Yeah, then of course she says some really... And then during the middle of the fight, Luke Cage shows up, and then Jackpot and Spider-Boy show up. Yes. Yeah, I read this. This was random. Like, oh, let's have Spider-Boy pop up here because he's got a book now. And Jackpot had a miniseries. Yep. We have more fighting here. And then, of course, like, you have Mad Max this. It will cost you, Spider-Man. Not just you. I control every criminal on this island. If we chaos every in New York, you will pay. We already have. Our city is burning. It'll take months to recover. Not to mention Randy Robinson. That wasn't my decision. You think it matters? You look at you beating the crap out of Silvermane. Like, you think your hands are clean? You think your hands are better? You ruined everything. No, you did this. It's not accident in this way. It's not bad luck. When you take and take without consideration, people get hurt. And then you realize, too late, eventually, you're just like, die. The person getting hurt is you. Yeah. He's like, "Wow, cool tech." No comment the villain Spider Boy. Wow, she's like gone. I guess that's pretty cool. See? I hope they know a good lawyer. I certainly will cover leaving my card. It did it. Well, we did it. Yeah, all of us. Shang-Chi, Danny, where were you guys? Where were we? Danny, relax. And of course, he complains like, nobody saw that. Are you kidding me? It's fine. We never give. Yeah, this whole thing with them, that's dealt in the Shang-Chi tie-in. Which is no note of that here for some reason. Yeah, and then of course, Spidey is informed by Luke Cage. Yeah, you know that fist law at the end of the story? Repealed. Thanks to Ray Robinson's effort. Yeah, superheroes are legalized now. He wakes up after being coma, after being asleep for a while, and then of course Janice leaves, and well, White Rabbit's promoted, and of course like a city run, and then we have Gang War territory look like this where Tombstone controls everything. Oh boy, okay, I like some story elements here. I like how Spider-Man's written here. He's been perfectly fine. I'm gonna give the book roughly 8 out of 10. Okay, so problems. First of which, okay, I get maybe having Spider-Man, Miles, Elektra, Spider-Woman, and She-Hulk. I'm like, okay. Where are the rest of the Avengers? Katie's Fantastic Four, they're out of town. Okay. I get introduced in the X-Men. Okay. Where's Doctor Strange? That's a really good question. Doctor Strange is not here for some strange reason. He's nowhere in this story. That's why he lives in New York City. Oh, don't have him get involved in this stuff. Nope, let's not have him get involved with street level stuff. That's why he is kind of street level here. Looks like he's magic based. Of course, this would have been an excellent idea to bring back the Punisher. Nope. It's like there's so many missing elements to this story. I mean, yeah, I'm not talking about the stuff with tie-ins. It's like characters are missing here for no reason. I do appreciate, though, for the main story. Spider-Man's here from start to finish. He does not miss an issue, which, good on Deb Wills' part for that. But it just feels as though, like, yeah. I think probably the missed opportunity of this book is, well, one minor thing. Oh, by the way, Shotgun turns against Madam Mask, and apparently he was revealed to be, like, an agent for the federal government years ago. So, is Zeb Wells retconning his backstory? When he showed up back in the late 80s, but and the Senti and Jarmy and Jr., by the way. Yeah, I like the action here for a lot of it, except for that awful Wilson Fisk and Tombstone issue. No denying that's the worst drawn fight of the whole comic. I mean, what the heck were you thinking, Jarmy and Jr.? It looks awful. And if I see from solicits, thank God he's gone for the book. Thank you. Okay, Zeb Wells, if you listen to this, please, for the love of God, do not bring back Jarmy Jr. in this book. He does not need to come back. Keep him as far away from as possible. Yep, now got something really interesting. We have Spider-Boy. Volume 1, The Web Wonder. Collecting the first 4 issues of Spider-Boy. I believe this is like Volume 2 because there was a one-shot release back. Basically, just 1 through 4. Basically, a story of short-term Into Spider-Verse and which made sense, the fact they included this in here, because it deserves back to power this book. So, those 2 stories published first. Now, Dan Slott writes pretty much everything in here. The Air stories, No One Knows You Are, that's Roberto Ramos. Paco does the Murder Invention. Spider-Boy, mostly about Paco Medina. And the micro stories are by Ty Templeton. So, it's like, the first story is like, he's back, and of course, his real name is Bailey Briggins. Yes. Knows who he is, and apparently Aunt May does not know who he is at all. And then I think in the same he runs into the Artemians, and then runs into Christina, who becomes his only supporting character, like his only friend because he's got nobody. Yes. Which, according to Red Line, this is the second character he's named Bailey Briggins, because it was a dead serviceman basically named it too. And then we have another story here where it's Madame Monstrous, I think it is, where she wakes up and then she calls up her daughter, Dr. Shannon Stillwell. Yes, of Empire Limited. You know, Regent's assistant. Yeah, she's here. Oh yeah, and they revealed the story that Harleen Stillwell, who created the Scorpion, is her brother, and the Dr. Sewell who created the Human Fly. Yeah, this is a retcon by Dan Slott. Yeah, these two guys, this McCall and Dr. Sewell, are two completely different people, and they die pretty much the same story. Yeah, it's revealed here they're brothers, and like, oh yeah, it's Madame Mastrossy's name, of course, because she's responsible for. She's another retcon character. I would say of all. Now, if you think about it, Stanley and Steve Ditko created this Dr. Stillwell. This one, I believe, was created by somebody else. Whoever wrote Mason Emerson, he created that one. Now, if you think, did Dr. Stan Stillwell, would she create Stan Slott? Yes. Monstrosity? Yes. So, the whole thing is basically going after Spider-Boy. And the lead to the main Spider book, we have Spider-Man and Spider-Boy taking on a criminal who basically is a bowler with a bowling ball in his head. And, of course, he's all about the bowling puns. And then he's beaten, and he's like, enough for the bowling pins already. Get up, boy, under arrest. Yes, please, jail. Anything, get me out of here. And he gets beaten. And of course, you have Spider-Man talking to Randy Robertson. He's like, so monster? He's a kid. No, Robin. He's not that much monster. And of course, where we were that basically Briley has been living in a homeless shelter because, well, he does tell Peter that she doesn't know his nickname is Spider-Boy. You know, back a couple of days, if someone knows. Better. You mean, ask Doctor Strange to do a spell to make everyone forget? Fair point. Yeah, the only reason why he told her because she's the one who basically is, like, close to him because he's alone. Yeah, and of course, with Madame Monstrosity, there's, like, various creatures sent out, and of course, you have this elephant man go after him too, which is like, okay, now the way with Madame Monstrosity, it's like this thing is like a version of Spider Slayer. Yes, it's like maybe she get inspiration from the Snipes basically for this, and of course, we have this weird parade where he and Christina run into Squirrel Girl of all people. Yes, Squirrel Girl at a parade. Yep. Oh yeah, and these things are basically controlled by the Bubble Man. Or excuse me, the Balloon Man. And the second issue, I love the second issue of this book. Where like, oh, somebody's like, and of course, it's Spider-Sense is different, so you see like signs. You see this mysterious person. And the artist apparently doesn't remember how Christina's drawn, where looks like she's shorter than Bradley, you know, she's taller. He runs out and then he just runs to Captain America. Apparently Captain America is a volunteer at the fast shelter. So like, okay, yeah, Taskmaster basically is after you, is like, comes with a job. It's like, there's a lot of same characters who get, especially Taskmaster just punches this guy randomly. Like apparently he somehow knows. Okay, he reveals the reason why he knows this guy was Taskmaster because he could smell an ion discharge of a image deucer. And ends up fighting him for a bit, and then Spider-Boy tags in and fight him. And apparently he's here to steal the Super Daptoid. Yes. The reason is revealed a little bit later. Yeah, and of course we come back to the story where they defeat the Blue Man. And then apparently his phone still has a picture of his mom on it. And of course he gets a picture back. Oh yeah, and then apparently he was hired by this little kid who I think is supposed to be Shannon's little brother. Oh yeah, let's make a toy of a Super Daptoid. Oh yeah, and then have Christina where she's... It's just me, or is like the artist keeps drawing, it looks like, where she's like a bit younger every issue. Like, Briley is drawn consistently, but she's drawn a little bit younger. Here, she looks like, I'm not sure what she's supposed to be, but like, from the look of her debut, she looks like she's supposed to be like 14, 15-ish. Here, she looks like she's 12. Or at least 10. And of course, yeah, let's have basically the Super Daptoid in this issue. Yeah, well, the mini Super Daptoid. Yep. And then we have, well, Braley team up with Thor. Yes, that features basically a Marvel team thing versus Squirrel Girl, and of course she was Captain America. Now it's Thor, which Hammer's broken. This is just before the Al Ewing run. Fights this creature. Fights Battlestar, who is that's Battlestar. It's like I saw him over in Captain America. Captain Marvel, like why the heck it look different? And the whole thing on the monstrosity side of him, and of course then we have then for some reason Miles and Peter end up fighting the Volturians, which is the first Nisi guy to show up since Web of Spider-Man 4. You know, back in the 80s. Yeah, and of course then apparently there's some trust issues, like apparently that just you're of course Miles, I'm his partner, you're a psychic. And of course she gets mad and well, and then we see this kid, like I think it's Braley, but nope, it's not him, it's somebody else. And then Braley finds out who it is and speaks to him, and of course they translate later where it basically Braley is like on his own and he's crying. Yeah. And they do translate, and of course, yeah, apparently this is a clone of Spider-Boy called Boy Spider, or at least something similar to that. The whole story is focused on Boy Spider, and that's it. It's quite interesting of a story, and I did really enjoy this. Book is really good. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Yep. And yeah, making sense of how it makes sense Dan Slott would do a book for this character because he created him, a retcon character who apparently, oh yeah, he's Spider-Man's lost psychic. Even though for years he never had a psychic, he never wanted one. Apparently he had one at some point. And apparently the reason people don't remember is because Doctor Strange wiped everybody's memory of him, except Peter's apparently. Though he does remember at some point. I'm like, that sounds very familiar. Doctor Strange wiping everybody's memory of some guy who wiping someone's name from his minds. Yeah, it sounds like the One More Day retcon. Well, it's retcon established thanks to One More Time, where Spider-Man did was in the public, but then everybody wiped everybody's memory except for Mary Jane and Doctor Strange. But now, like, about 30 people know who he is. Yep. But yeah, that's particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share notifications, and do the dislike button. Stay tuned for later, maybe for Art Stevens' Dilemma, okay? Next video. Bye. Oop.